Thank you very much for agreeing to speak to us this morning. I'm just very interested in your perspective on the outlook for the business centre sector for 2015 and any trends that you think might be emerging.
I think there's going to be a huge level of trend because of what's going to happen with the uncertainty over the election. People are going to need maximum flexibility. We're still seeing huge numbers of startups. That's going to continue. But people aren't going to want to commit to long-term leases or even medium-term leases. So what they want to have is short-term flexibility. So I would have thought for the sector, this is exactly the sort of moment where they can prove their mettle and show their ability to be able to provide those sort of flexible services for businesses needing the confidence to set up now without having to commit large amounts of capital to large amounts of premises.
And do you think the type of space that is provided is likely to change? We've obviously seen the emergence of co-working, which is very trendy, apart from anything else. Do you think there's likely to be other innovations that are going to come through? How do you see that market developing?
This is going to be a very innovative market because what's happening with social media, what's happening with better forms of technology, means you're going to need far greater levels of flexibility. Co-working, people hot desking around the place, you're going to see much more of that. Plus the fact you're going to see the need for individuals working separately, just turning up to a unit to be able to use that particular desk, that particular networking point. So I think you're going to see a lot more of that as people get used to the new technology, giving them individual independence.
And do you think that you're more likely to see a greater trend toward corporate occupiers as well taking the space in flexible offices as well as the SMEs, which is, I think, what everybody traditionally associates with this sort of space?
Yes, traditionally it's always been the start-ups and SMEs, that was what you would expect. But I've been amazed as I've been going around, seeing a far greater use from corporates who need that safety valve. They can't do everything themselves. They don't want to commit to large, long leases or large amounts of premises. So therefore this gives them the escape area to be able to go to give them that necessary flexibility. And that's a far more vital way to actually try and operate a corporate, rather than actually going to the expense of committing large amounts of capital.
And on that basis, if there's sort of it's eating into some of the traditional office market, do you see the traditional office market as trying to adapt to a more flexible model? And if so, how successful do you think it can be at this stage?
It's going to be fascinating because at the moment we're seeing a boom coming through in the property market, particularly in the City of London. And so